Okay, this is a short video tutorial on how to do the osmosis assignment. So this is the document that I provided for the osmosis assignment. It's a Word document. So you need to go into the assignment link on Canvas and download this document. This is the one that you will be using to record your answers. So for this assignment, make sure that you are using Google Chrome or Firefox. This assignment does not work well on Safari. If you don't have one of those browsers, you can download it. And if it isn't your main browser, just copy and paste this address into Google Chrome. Okay, so I'm going to put it into here. Okay, this is the beginning page that the link will take you to. So you are on the cell defense assignment. That is what you will be doing, and you will be recording your answers on the Word document. So the first thing you need to do is click on Start a New Game. Now, press your spacebar or click to continue. This is the screen you will see. You are going to work through all of these challenges and you need to do it in order. So you will start on build a membrane. Now, at the bottom, it says go to score sheet. This is not the answer. This is not recording your answers. Okay, you need to record your answers on the Word document. When it says go to score sheet, it will have your name. It will have like your score throughout the different challenges. You are going to screenshot that or take a picture with your camera, and then you need to take the image and put it into the Word document I gave you. You can do copy paste or cut and paste or Google on your computer to figure out how to do this. So I'm not going to work through every one of these exercises, but I'm going to go through a few of them a little bit just to show you how to do it. Now, please make sure that you are reading the information that it gives you on all of these screens, because that is what tells you how to do the exercise. So this is just giving you this little scenario. And basically it's telling you that there is a hole in the plasma membrane and you are going to repair the plasma membrane. Okay, this is zooming in. It's showing you what the plasma membrane looks like close up. Okay, now this is the important part that you need to read. It's telling you about phospholipids, the fact that there are hydrophilic heads, hydrophobic tails. Now you need to look at the bottom here. It's telling you that this is your, actually, I think it tells you on the next page, oh, your supply bar. So see how phospholipids is visible. That is what you are going to be using first. It's called the supplies box at the bottom of the screen. So you will click on the phospholipid head to create a new phospholipid, and you are going to drag it to where it needs to go to in the plasma membrane. Now, what you need to pay attention here is that you have to put the hydrophilic head in the correct place. So if you need to flip the phospholipid over, it tells you how to do that. Okay, so now there's a hole in the phospholipid. It's showing you that there is water on each side. So I'm going to do the first one for you here. You click on phospholipid, it appears, you drag it to where it needs to go. Now, if I was going to put that phospholipid on the other side of the membrane, I have to flip it around. Now, if we go over here to the worksheet, what I'm asking you is how many phospholipids did it take to repair the membrane in the activity? You need to be counting how many phospholipids you used, and then you're just putting a number in there. And the reason that I'm asking you these questions is so that I know that you did the simulation. Okay, we're back on the screen now. Okay, so I added the phospholipids to my membrane. Now, there is a timer in the upper left-hand corner of the screen here. You have to wait till the timer runs out before you can advance in the simulation. Now, this part is asking you about cholesterol. It tells you what it does. It said create 4 new cholesterol molecules by clicking the cholesterol molecule in the supply box. You click and drag it into the membrane, and it has to be touching the tail. So here's cholesterol. It's this 4-ring structure. So you're going to go ahead and do that task next. Okay, so after I put the cholesterol in, it is showing me that carbon dioxide and oxygen can pass through the membrane, but the ions and sugar cannot. That's why they are bouncing off the membrane in the upper part of the screen. So that's what you're supposed to be observing. Now you click on my observation is complete, and here you are going to answer some questions. Okay, so you click on the substances that can pass easily through the membrane. Okay, so after you answer those questions, this is the next part. Now remember, we are still on the first challenge that we started. Now, again, you need to read the information that it provides here because it tells you what channel proteins do. And you are going to put channel proteins in the membrane. It says that they need to span the entire membrane to make a tunnel or channel that ions can pass through. So while you are working with the channel proteins, it gives you more information on diffusion and the fact that molecules will go from high concentration to low concentration. So you hit I understand. It talks some more about diffusion and facilitated diffusion. So you need to read all that, hit I understand. It talks about active transport, which is not something we've discussed in lecture, but like I told you, all of the information it provides here under urgent message is information that you need for this exercise. Okay, so here is your next task. You are going to be dragging carrier proteins into the membrane so that the substances on either side of the membrane can reach equilibrium. And you may not know what equilibrium means, but as you read the information throughout this lesson, it will tell you what equilibrium means. So here's what the screen looks like at this point. I'm going to move my channel protein over. So you click on carrier protein and you are just going to drag it and place them around the membrane. Okay, it doesn't matter where you place it in the membrane, but you are going to be helping those red ions to move from one side to the other. Now here you can see it says ATP with this little light. You click on that so that the ion can move. The last part of this particular exercise asks you to look at the carbohydrates. So notice in my supply box on the bottom here, all of these different substances are now visible because you have worked on the membrane through phospholipids, then you moved to cholesterol, channel proteins, carrier proteins, and now you are on carbohydrates. Now this urgent message tells you what the function is of carbohydrates in a membrane. So you are going to click on the carbohydrates and put them where they belong. So after you are done with the carbohydrates, you are done with the Build a Membrane challenge. Now let's go back to the worksheet here because you need to be filling out this worksheet as you go through the exercises. So all of these questions, 1 through 11, have to do with the Build a Membrane challenge. Now, again, as you work through these challenges, the simulation is not saving your answers. You have to be counting the molecules that you use yourself and putting them on the Word document. Now, I also ask you some questions. Describe one difference between passive and active transport, which is number 9. That information is included in the simulation where it says urgent message. Now, it doesn't actually give you that comparison. You have to read about passive transport, then read about active transport, then you come up with the difference. So here we are back at the cell defense simulation. Now I haven't exited the simulation, I'm just back on the main page. Now I will go on to the next challenge, membrane structure challenge. Okay, so it says task, click on a phospholipid above. Okay, so this is just asking you to click on various parts of the membrane and like ions and things like that, just as a comprehension check to see what you retained from the previous challenge. But again, you need to be recording your answers in the Word document that I gave you. Now, I worked through the membrane structure challenge, but again, you need to do this on your own. So let's take a look at the Word document that you are filling out. Here is the membrane structure challenge. Now, number 12, it says list 2 questions asked in this segment of the activity. For example, one of the questions was click on the hydrophilic portion of the phospholipid. That's actually more of a request, but that's what I mean with this question is you need to give me one instruction, or actually, I'm sorry, 2 instructions that were given during this particular challenge. So you should be getting the idea of how to do this simulation now. Again, you need to work through build a membrane, membrane structure challenge, diffusion, energy and transport, and then osmosis. I would like you to do them in the order that you see them here. And then it will say go to score sheet. Now, all you have to do is put your first name, type it in, type in your last name, and then take a picture. That's all I want you to do, because it'll have your name in here and then it'll say the levels that you completed. Okay, and this is just so that I know you did the simulation. You don't have to save this screen. I just need you to take a picture of it with your phone. It says take a screenshot here, so it'll take a screenshot for you. If you do take a screenshot, then you have to input your email and it will send it to you. So you can do it that way, or you can take a picture with your phone. But either way, you need to take the image and put it into the Word document that I have given you. So let's go back and I will show you where to do that. So if you go down here, it says go to score sheet on page 2 of the Word document. All you have to do is put your cursor here and you're going to go to insert, picture, picture from file, and then wherever you happen to save your picture file. Okay, so you're going to probably need to take the picture that's on your phone, send it to yourself in your email so you can get it on your computer, and then you can input it into the Word document. I put do not submit a separate JPEG. That's because that's a ton of documents I'm going to be getting, and it's easier for me to grade if it's right there in your Word document. Now, after you've done the osmosis simulation, you're not done with this assignment. There's actually a case study that I give you. And this is unrelated to the simulation. This is a case study. You need to read about it, watch the video link I gave you, and then you're going to answer questions. Okay, so all of this is separate from the, what is it called, Bioman cell membrane simulation. But it takes some of the information that you learned and I'm asking you to apply it to a case study. Now, when you go and take the quiz for this module, I'm going to refer to this case study. So you want to make sure that you actually complete it. So this is the end of my instructional video for this particular assignment. If you do have questions about it, make sure that you email me, but also make sure that you read all of the instructions that are given to you in the simulation and on this worksheet.